Hey YouTube, TikTok, how are we going? Just trying to do the final little pieces on the leopard seal today. Mr. Cam, that's right. Thanks for the likes, Mr. Cam. All right. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks for the roses. Shucks. What am I doing? I'm working on a leopard seal art doll. So this is a commission piece. So I'm just sort of doing the fabric for the face. So just sort of finishing it off, and then I'm going to sew all this bit together, but I'm just doing like this last little bit of glue. Trying to cover the seam lines here. I'll start on the other side, but yeah, I did all of this yesterday, bulk of it. Movable jaw, I did a little bit of fabric in here, which I'm going to paint. It's an art doll, basically, so I make fake taxidermy pieces, like a chameleon. So this is all polymer clay and fabric. And so this one is a commission piece for a leopard seal with movable jaw. So, yes. So I don't use any animal pieces or anything in any of my work. All right. So I did all this glue yesterday, so it's all nice and dry. All stuck together. So I'm just going to sort of finish this off. Oops. I've got a couple of pieces on the go at the moment. Most of them cats, no doubt. Oh my god, I keep pulling the thread out. Okay. All right. Now, we're trying to smooth this out as much as possible. So I'm going to do it quite tight with small stitches. Hey, Mr. Bombastic. How are you? Good, that's good. How am I? I'm all right. Just trying to get this leopard seal finished up, ready for some airbrushing. So I'm almost finished this one. Which, yeah, can't complain. Put it that way. Nice. Thanks for all the likes. Thank you for the follow. Okay. I'm trying to keep this seam line as neat as possible. And you do that by doing really small stitches. Alright. Trim that off. I'm going to tie this little section off. Now. Okay. All right, so we've done this seam line. I'm going to try and pull it, as tight as possible. We need a little bit of leeway for the movable jaw. Straighten it up. Make sure it's nice and center. Wondering if I should just sew this side up first with a separate piece. That's what I'll do. That way I can center it a bit better. Thanks. All right. Okay, so just going to sew up this seam line here. I'm using a ladder stitch and some thread by the brand Gutermann, which is a pretty good quality thread. We need to have some tension on it. So if you have like cheap thread, it snaps really easily and it's very frustrating. So, and I am sewing some minky fabric, which I'm going to airbrush all the colour on once it's all been sewn up. I don't have much left to do on this. Got a little bit of sewing on the flippers to do like the fingers and stuff. That's about it. So inevitably there'll be some, wrinkling and seam lines, but that's what happens. It's a little bit unavoidable, but we can try and make them as invisible as possible. Oh, I think it's for the roses. All right. Tuck that under me. Now, and it was a bit yucky. Right, so now what we got, this keeps popping out. Go away. In. Yeah. Get it as even and straight as possible. Just going to pin it in place so it doesn't go walkabouts while I'm sewing. Sometimes that happens. All right, I'm just going to sew this to the neck. And again, using a ladder stitch. Kiwi's back. Kind of looks like yeah, it does a little bit from that angle. Turtles on my to-do list. I haven't made one before. I'd like to. Maybe like leatherback or something. A tortoise. I don't know. Maybe just a green sea turtle. You turned your phone upside down. It is a seal. It's a leopard seal. It's movable jaw. There. Leopard seal. Thanks for the likes. YouTube's a bit quiet today. All right. So I mean, seam lines are kind of inevitable. This Minky fabric's got like a little bit of a pile that I can sort of brush out. It covers it a little bit. When I add the airbrushing, it'll sort of disappear a bit better. Wow, pins and needles in my leg. Okay. And I'm just following like the natural flow of where this is going to sit. Get in there. So this bit's a little bit thicker, so I'm going to just help it sort of curl under and hide that thickness a little bit. Alright. Tie this off so it stays in place. Continue on. A flash goal. What's a flash goal? Hey Mel, how are you? I'm good. Still doing the just sewing this neck up of a leopard seal. Finally, not far off finishing this one, so that's good. Oh, it's too big. Okay. Took the pin out. You're doing well. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just have to put the little, I guess you could call them fingers, finger lines in the flippers, and then it's ready for airbrushing. And the smaller ones are much easier to airbrush than the big dolls. It doesn't take so long and so much paint. I actually had fun airbrushing the last leopard seal, so I just sort of went with the flow, had a couple of reference images up on my computer, and yeah, just made it up. Made it up as I went along. Comb that pile out a little bit. All right. Looking good. Yeah, it's like they got like outlines on their fingers in between the webbing, on their flippers in between the webbing. I'm pretty sure there's little tiny nails there too. So got to put those details in, and then yeah, ready for paint. So that'd be good. So have at least a new stop motion and a new video on how I make like the whole process video on my YouTube, some photos, and yeah, this one's going off to the States. Hopefully it gets there safely. Don't think I've sent a couple of things since the tariff thing, but I don't think anyone's had to pay anything like at customs, so that's good. I try and mark it as like a gift. So they don't have to get that custom tariff tax or whatever you want to call it, you know. Whatever that lunatic is doing. Implementing. All right, almost finished. All right, so I've just got this little bit here. Okay, last stitch, and then I'll tie it off. How do you know the details? Seal sounds like bats and platypus. Yeah, I know. It's just a lot of Googling images. So I'll Google like close-up of like flippers and stuff, because you want to get the details right. So it's a lot of Googling to make sure like I come up with a plan before I start the doll. But yeah, a lot of reference pictures basically. All right, let's feed this through. That neck is done. Hooray! So obviously there'll be a seam line, just can't avoid that. But it's coming along nicely. I'll paint that last. It's coming along nicely. Oh, thanks, Ren. Thanks so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've got five little fingers and toes. So I've sort of got some marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin where I want the stitches to go. So it's all sort of even. So the armature is in there. You can see it's in there. I got a little bit of stuffing. Hi, Ari. Thank you. So this will be like the main finger. So I'm just going to pin that. Do I ever visit zoos? I've gone to the zoo twice, but when I was making the chameleon, they had also a veiled chameleon, so I took like heaps of photos. So that worked out well. All right, so 1. Okay. 1, 2. That's the webbing. Mm. One, two. Three. Thank you. I used to make I used to basically primarily do fantasy stuff when I first started. Not so much anymore. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1. A bit smaller than living. 1 more. Yeah, I used to do a lot more fantasy stuff back in the day, but not so much anymore. I might add, with the next lot that I make, I might do like a fantasy stag. So, right, so that's kind of where I want the fingers. All right, so I'll start the first one. So I got some, I use like plastic antlers because I want them to be durable. So you can sculpt them, but they're just super fragile. You can sculpt them out of epoxy sculpt as well, but I find these plastic ones work really well. So I just add them to the head and epoxy sculpt them in. And then, yeah, I saw that where I normally get them from, they started doing clear ones. So either going to do like a crystal or an ice stag for the next lot. You've been to the zoo once in your life? Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. I took my daughter there a few times to the zoo lately, a few times. But definitely helps. Videos help a lot, I have to say. You can sort of see them moving around and sort of gauge how their anatomy works. Does that make sense? This flipper looks like a booby trap. All right. Go back through the other way. So I'm basically just trying to create a bit of a little divot with just a running stitch, and just create these little details in the fabric, in the stitch work, basically. You're currently working on a Chinese dancing dragon. I've been wanting to do one for a long time. I mean, you do what you want to do, I think. You do what makes you happy. That's what I think. That's why I started doing more realistic things, because it's what I enjoy doing better. Just got sick of doing like fantasy things all the time. Yeah, this is just a straight running stitch. So I'm doing the stitch quite small so you can't see it. But it sort of starts to create this little detail ridge thing. So I did the same for this part of the chameleon. I did my running stitch up here just to sort of tack it closed. But yeah, not a fancy stitch or anything. Just a straight up running stitch. All right. So now just go like one run up, one run down, and then basically tie it off somewhere. I mean, ideally you'd go back up and then come back down. To get that webbing. But I mean, you can just tie it off. And I'll trim all these little scraggly bits. So I want the webbing to come out here. Yeah, no, I don't like hand sewing either. Not a fan. Not a fan. All right. Okay, so I'm going to run it back up and meet up with this line here. Basically like that. And kind of try and get all the stuffing out. But just going to line it up. I think maybe my least favorite part is when, like, you have a plan, apart from the sewing, when you have a plan and it's just not working. It's just not working for you. Then you have to change strategies or persist, whatever. But I mean, I feel like it's very much a trust the process the whole way through. Getting stuck on this. Okay. That's the thread. And E. All right, one more. About here. Back down. And I sort of try and get in between the stitches so all of it's flat. Like in between the previous stitch. Do I cut off the string at the start? No, I just continue on. I'll cut this off here, but I'll just continue on because I've threaded it inside so you can't see. So I always try to thread things inside the doll so it sort of hides the stitch. Oops. Sometimes the end goes a bit funny, so let's get a fresh end. Okay. You see it starts to create some definition in there. All right, I'm just going to do sort of around here, just so it sort of pulls this bit up a little bit. Sort of gets a little bit more of a definition. Tie it off. And because the stitch is wide, it hides pretty well as well. Okay. Next part. Probably don't need all these here now. So that's one toe. That's like webbing. And then we want another toe here. So feed it through. So we can't see the stitch. End there. Then so do this. I'm going to do it about there. Leave this open bit there. Pause. All right. Hey, Messy Pellet. How are you? Just going to take this out because it's annoying. It's a bit time consuming doing this bit, but I'll only do one. I'll only do one. All right. And just tie it off. Warmer than you. Is it summer where you are? Winter here. Right, next one will be, got that. I'm just going to take these out because I don't need them anymore. Right. It's not very exciting. You're in Queensland, yeah. That's always warmer than Melbourne, isn't it? Right, so that. Right. Looks good for the webbing. Most of the time, apart from like our weird 40-degree days. Random melting temperature. Hi, Hema, how are you? You guys don't get like random 40-degree days, do you? You're good, I'm alright. Neighbours decided to start lawn mowing. It's waking up my kid, and so I'm a bit annoyed, actually. I really hate neighbours. Thanks, mate. You're working on some of your own right now. Nice one. Alright, I'm just going to tie it off. I can't do any more with this tiny little nub of a thread. No, I'm annoyed. No, me. She probably is too, but more so me. Alright, so feed this through. Yeah, the humidity isn't. Not for me. We don't get that down here. If we do, it's weird. Oh, look at this cute bubble. Cute bubble. Can I catch it? Oh. There you go. Cute little bubble. It's dried glue, so it's not going to stick. Okay. Shall we change it up a little bit? It's going to take ages to finish, but I'll try and do this stuff during the week because it's literally just that. All right, maybe we can paint the inside of the mouth. Yeah, he's annoying. His neighbour. He's just annoying. All right, let's mix up a custom colour. So I'm going to mix up a custom colour with these two colours. One's it says skin tone base, but it's really not a skin tone base. It's peach. It's just literally peach. Yeah, just shake it up a bit, I think. Now. Or get a slightly bigger one too. Big flat one. The bloody idiot doesn't know how to mow the lawn properly either. It's like leans lawnmower's neck. Whatever. Anyway. So it's like this peachy colour. So I'm going to mix it up to match this colour. And this one is ash pink. So I'm using these ones. It's the weirdest skin tone colour, isn't it? Like skin tone base. Who has that? Who has that? Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of skin tone base. Apparently. So I might even need to put a drop of red in it, I reckon, as well. Find some red. Oh my god. Why do you need to run a lawnmower like that? It sounds like a freaking jet plane taking off. Honestly. Anyway, so a little bit of red as well. Now, not the most amazing colour mixer. I get by. Yeah, peach has a skin base. Apparently, there's only peach skin tone base, apparently. I think that's pretty close. Let's do a little test. Can't quite tell, but I think it's not bad. I'm going to do all of this. I might add just a tiny bit of water so it soaks into the fabric a little. And generally it dries a little bit darker too. Oh, hello. What are you doing? That's embarrassing. You think Chroma was smoking weird stuff? Well, 100%. Skin tone base. They're good paints for cheap paints, but I agree. Good match, actually. See? Looking good. Okay. Pretty much in there. So, matches quite well. Now I'll do a little bit on the sides. Yeah. I don't want it to bleed through too much. Lovely. Okay. Here. Right. There we go. Much more finished. So I can add, sometimes inside the mouth they've got like little black blotches. Oh no, it's on my finger. I can cover the rest of that with fabric paint. Check your fingers before you touch things. All right. So I'm not going to close that. Might do a little bit of black around there just to make it look a bit more finished. Thank you. So, inside the nose. That. Alright, so a little bit on here. I'm not going to do too much because it's mostly grey. So I'll airbrush the rest of it around there. But you can see it's starting to come together. I'm not too worried about getting the paint on the eye because I can get it off pretty easily with just some water. You can just hear sneezes. Yeah, I'm out too. Alright, so I'm just going to redo just around here the black. I've got like a little bit of a black lip line. So I'll go over it now. Alright. Do this side. I feel like I'm applying mascara. Okay, so flip it upside down. And I'll do this part too. The dog is standing at the door. Enjoy your walk. No problem. Catch you later. Make sure it's waterproof. I know, right? Okay. Just filling this little bit here. So I'm in two minds about doing, like, sometimes I've got little black blotches underneath. I don't know if I should do it or not. I didn't do it with the last one. I thought I might do it just to do something like different than the last one. Okay. Looking a bit more realistic. Let's see. What do their mouths look like? This one doesn't have any. No, I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it. But they've got, I need to do actually a little more black in here. A little more black in this little crease. What do you call it? Gum? Cheek line. Okay. More up here. And a tiny bit more on the outskirts here. Okay, just blend it a little bit. And here. Okay. There we go. I always end up slipping off my chair. Alright, so a little bit of a difference on this side. Okay. So same deal. All right. Wee bit more. Wee bit more. Emo seal. Okay, just a little bit more. Side. Oh, lots of people on TikTok. Hello. Hello, everybody. Okay. Looking good. I don't think I need any black anywhere else on here. The choker. The pink one. Pink choker. Okay. It's about as much black as I can do. Now, might just do a little bit more. Where's my paper towel? Use this one. I just add a little bit more pink in some areas here. Just a little. While it's still wet. Yeah, there, it's better enough. Okay. All right, so we got so far leopard seal. I'm just going to leave that to dry before, like, I open and close the mouth. I don't want like paint going everywhere. What else have we got? Regular monster. So I'll leave this to dry for now. And maybe I could do the Gila Monster vest. What's that critter? Which one? The leopard seal? No. Crazy dog. It's a leopard seal. This one's a Gila Monster. Okay. No problem. You too. don't have long left. Probably going to have to bail a bit early because it seems like they've lawned my old one. But I can get started on doing a little bit of sewing. Just a teeny bit. This one will take a little bit longer to sew because it's just the cotton fabric, so we're going to trim this corner. And put a stitch. Now I want this to be a bit tight around here, so it sort of sits semi behind. I'll work it out once it's been sewn up. Okay. There. Just going to stitch this. The stitch here. Exactly. I mean, I'd like to do a whole lot more. I'd like to do a whole lot more, but, you know, not socially acceptable. Anyway. Plus the monitor's dying as well, so it's just, here's what it is. These ones have to be really tiny stitches too. Even more than the Minky. So, get in there. Sew up a lawnmower. And like, he does it for hours too when he does it. Like the garden's, the lawn's not even that big. Neighbours. Gotta hate them. Just a couple more. Maybe I don't know. I don't know that this guy's scared of any animals, to be honest. I'm sure we had a couple of rabbits hanging around, and like he likes to grow his own food and whatnot. So I only assume they were eating his food, and I'm quite certain he poisoned them because one of them came in our backyard, and like obviously it was, you know, dying, and I'm convinced it was him that did it. I reported him to the council. But yeah, not very nice. But yeah, I reckon it was him. I reckon it's him. Okay, so these are going to be like the poison gland. That's why it's so chunky here. Now I'm chopping and changing with sewing, but this is why I like to work on different things. Just freshen it up a little bit. Just get to this point here. The emo to the chameleon, pretty much. I've just been thinking about the next reptile to do. I can't remember what I decided on either. I had a good one and I forgot. Alright. I will just big. This one I try and contour to the body form that I did with the needle felting, so I try really hard to contour to it. Okay. And tie that off because my monitor has died. Yes, it was a gecko. It was a gecko. Thank you. It was a gecko. It was a gecko. Yeah, but I just didn't decide on which type of gecko. But it was a gecko. Yes. Thank you. All right. So, right, monitor's dead. I have to go up now. All right, so I got to bail because the monitor's dead and the child is up. So, What am I going to do? Yes, I'm going to try and finish majority of the sewing on the leopard seal during the week. It was a good guess. I will be making a gecko after this one. Like after this lot, but the next reptile will be a gecko. All right, so I won't be on again until like Thursday again. But yeah, I'll do things during the week and try and get as much sewing as I can done, and then we get to do some more exciting things on the lives next week maybe, as opposed to just sewing, because sewing's kind of boring. Anyway, we'll see how much sewing I can get done during the week. I'm looking forward to doing the scales for this one. So, airbrushing on the leopard seal. I may or may not do that on the live. I don't know. We'll just see where we're at. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll catch you on Thursday-ish from then onwards. About 12:30. Anyway, TikTok. I'll catch you later. And I'll catch you later again on YouTube. See ya!